Hello, my name's James Bailey, and this is my presentation on Harry. So, Harry is a 5-year-old who's very attached to his iPad. Because he spends his time between his parents and his grandparents, there's different rules about that, and he exploits those rules by throwing tantrums to get his own way. And this has transitioned into the classroom, so now he's quite disruptive. However, when he is going to after school soccer with his friend Alex, he's much more settled in class, which I find very interesting. And I'm going to use that to assist him with his progression. Alright, so community strategies for Harry. Number one is the Bunbury PCYC. So I think Harry should be enrolled into the Bunbury PCYC, which is a organised, supervised group play sessions after school. So these are offered to local youth to build fitness, routine, and social peer time. So these sessions run 2 to 3 times a week for about 45 minutes. It does come with a fee, however you can apply through the government for a scheme, and this will be heavily reduced. So why this works for Harry? So it's taking away screen time, and he's already doing this to an extent with a classmate, Alex. And when he's going to these sessions after school to play soccer, in class he interacts better with students, he's more enthusiastic about work, and he's leaving the day happier. So he's looking forward to this. So I think just this daily interaction with peers and sport is just a huge green flags in my ears. So this is linked to research. So Lee et al. 2025, they have found that supporting regular aerobic sessions as a strong replacement for screen time increase social interaction. So that is what we're looking to do through these play sessions. School counsellor. So I think as we know, there's a range of students already seeing the school counsellors, and I think just this daily check-in and routine for Harry is really good. So at the moment, Harry is juggled between the parents and the grandparents who take him to school and pick him up. So that is a structure that changes. But implementing a counsellor that Harry sees in the morning for about 10 minutes before class, I think would give him just someone he can vent to, see every day, and it sets a routine for him. So the PBS have found that a predictable, trusted adult relationship and regular brief check-ins improve children's regulation, reduces anxiety, and supports better school engagement. So that's found by the PBS. And that is what we are looking to do for Harry. Just give him someone he can talk to every single day that reduces anxiety and gets him school classroom ready. Alright, some family strategies for Harry. So through these 3 family strategies, I'm mainly trying to address Harry's dependency for the iPad and throwing tantrums when not getting his own way. So starting with iPad structure. Right now there is very little commonality between the grandparents and parents between use of iPad. So how this affects me in the classroom is when the grandparents are picking Harry up, he's much more disruptive at the end of the day. Because he knows that he can't just throw tantrums and get his own way and use the iPad, because the grandparents are much more stricter and enforce rules for Harry. So I want to get the grandparents and the parents in and set some structure and consequences for Harry, so it gives him a clear, predictable routine and consequences, so he learns that the rules at mum's house and the grandparents' house and school are all in commonality and they all enforce the same rules. So moving on to strategy number 2. So this is actually an FBA, or a functional behaviour assessment. So that comes from the PBS. So just conducting these behaviour assessments on Harry, how he is on the start of the day when he is seeing counsellors, how he's leaving school. These can be conducted by the parents. So when he comes home, how is he when he comes home from these sports sessions, and how it's affecting his tantrum throwing or iPad dependency. So I like to see how that changes and if we need to tweak anything over the semester. So moving on to strategy number 3, so that is positive reinforcement. So I want to just let the parents know, and grandparents, because it's 50-50 almost, that they can provide positive reinforcement when Harry is following the structure, he's not throwing tantrums, and that should be used immediately in specific praise So if Harry comes home and he, for example, gets off on the structured iPad time without trouble, the next day, give him an extra 20 minutes. Just reward that good behavior. Instead of throwing tantrums, we want to use open dialogue and just rewarding good behavior when Harry shows it. So this also links back to the PBS. So using like these token systems plus short practical parent coaching helps kids trade tantrums for calm requests, and it works better when everyone is involved in using the same system. So that is my plan for Harry and his family strategies. So my conclusion for my strategies. So if everyone uses the same rules, scripts, and routines, Harry will get fewer mixed messages, and hopefully tantrums will drop because he knows that he gets nothing from the tantrums. He's better to use open dialogue and requests that should be rewarded with extra screen time or something he likes to do. So the FBA and weekly check-ins will keep us focused on what's causing the behaviour and us tweak things fast throughout the semester. Daily check-ins with the counsellor and the zones will give Harry a quick way to calm down and ask for help, and regular play guided by peer time replaces unsupervised iPad minutes with social active alternatives. Thank you very much.